What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 213 of the Tastecast, our weekly podcast where we talk about all things gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today, of course, is me. It's only me this episode. It's a solo cast. Not ideal, but the show has to go on. Chevy is in Japan. He will be in Japan for the next 3 weeks. So not only is it difficult to try to plan a podcast that you typically talk to somebody in, but also there's like no gaming news going on right now. There's no videos. There's nothing to really talk about except for, maybe Ubisoft is making a lot of fucking mistakes right now and they're confused on why things are going bad for them. And it's like, people have been telling you for years what you're doing wrong and you didn't listen. But I feel like that'd be kicking a dead horse if I talk about that. So we're going to do things as we normally do here. And it'll probably be a lot shorter of an episode, though, with just one person. So I guess we'll just feel it out. First Tastecast of the month. That means we're jumping into game releases where we talk about the games that are releasing or have released in October and talk about which ones we're excited for. And this is via thegamer.com. If there's any errors on this list, that is their fault, not mine. And let's just jump into this. So on October 1st, we got Master Detective Archives Rain Code on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Then on October 3rd, we got Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Until Dawn Remake came out on October 4th. It's a remake, right? Remake, or did they just upgrade it? I don't know. Let me know. PS5, PC, and then on the 4th as well, we got SpongeBob SquarePants: The Patrick Star Game on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on the 8th, we got the much talked about now Silent Hill 2 Remake. I have things to say about that. No spoilers, of course, coming soon. PS5, PC, and then on October 8th as well, we got Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. I haven't heard a whole lot on that, but it sounded kind of interesting. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Then on the 10th, we got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I want to say Sparkling every time I see that. PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I'm also hearing they had to nerf bosses in that because it was too difficult for people, which when I think of a Dragon Ball Z game, or Dragon Ball game, I don't think of like difficulty. I don't think like it's a Souls-like experience. So apparently it was so difficult they had to patch it. So that might have already happened. I don't know. But I know a lot of people are playing that and talking about that. On October 11th, we got Metaphor Re Fantasio. I forgot how they said it. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Then Europa came out on October 11th. It is the 13th as of filming, so just a mental note for me. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on the 11th as well, Starship Troopers Extermination, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I'm pretty sure this is just the 1.0 release of the game that's already been out. I played this when it came out, so I'm confused that they're talking about it like it's a brand new game. But we'll talk about it. October 15th, we got New World Eternum, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Apparently that's like a revamped version of the original game. So we'll see how that does. On the 15th as well, we got Neva on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And then on the 15th, again, last one, Squirrel with a Gun on PS5, Xbox Series. No PC release. Unless it already is on PC. Let me know. October 17th, we got Super Mario Party Jamboree on Switch. Good to see just a straight-up Switch release in 2024. October 18th, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then Wildermyth comes out on October 22nd on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven on the 24th, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Also on the 24th, we got Date Everything. That's quite the title on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on October 25th, we got Ease X Nordics. I think that's how you say that, maybe. Wise Ease. PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Then Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I didn't know it was coming out so soon. October 25th on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I'll be really curious to see the reception of that game. October 25th, we got Sonic X Shadow Generations, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, or Series, Switch and PC. And then on October 29th, we got Life is Strange Double Exposure. What is that? On PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. On the 29th, we got Shadows of the Damned Hella Remastered. I did not even know they're doing that. On PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. That'd be kind of interesting to revisit because I wasn't a fan of it when it came out, but I'm pretty sure that game had Akira Yamaoka music in it, which had weird connective tissue between me and that game because I love his music. So I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Then the 31st, we have the Axis Unseen on PC, and the last, and probably the least, Deviolated on PC on the 31st. So quite a few games coming out. I'll go through and tell you what I think about this. I'm kind of curious about Until Dawn. It's a pretty significant upgrade, but I already played through Until Dawn before, and it was pretty cool, but not amazing. But I'm kind of curious about it. If it's on sale, I might pick it up. I already picked up Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'll talk about my opinions on that soon. But quick recommendation. I would recommend it. You should definitely play it. I have a vague curiosity for Dragon Ball Sparking Zeros because everybody's talking about it. But when I watch a video of it, it just kind of looks like every other Dragon Ball game. So I feel like maybe you have to be in that world of loving, like if you play FIFA every year. I feel like if you play Dragon Ball games every time they release, this is just the next one for you to play. And I'm not in that, but kind of curious. Metaphor Fantasio. I already bought this. I haven't played it at all. I just bought it. I think $70, full price, and it's installed. It's ready to go. But I know it's going to be like a 100-hour game at the least. And I want to finish Silent Hill 2 before I jump into it. But I do already have it. They got my money. So, Starship Troopers Extermination. What is on my face? I own this. I bought this when it first came out, and I'm kind of curious to return to it and see if they've done anything to make it more interesting. This game was kind of cool when it came out. I kind of liked it. Kind of like what they're doing, but for a game that has classes and building, it felt like chaos. It felt like everyone's just running around shooting, and it's Starship Troopers, but with so many things that seem like it needs to have a more methodical mindset behind it, it didn't feel like it was being utilized. It just felt like people were just building everywhere randomly, and like the classes, it didn't really feel like I was among other classes. It was just everybody shooting. And so hopefully they've kind of dialed it in to make it feel more like a co-op shooter, which is kind of tough because there's 16 people. It's a 16-player co-op game, which is in itself very interesting that they did that, but it's just fucking chaos. And then Helldivers 2 came out and kind of stole steam. So yeah, curious to return to that. New World Aeternum, I'm also interested in returning to. I played the original New World. I thought it had a lot of cool things it did. I think it did a lot of things badly. Had a lot of issues when it first came out, and the grind to level and the having to run around on foot everywhere really kind of got to me over time. And so I think it has mounts now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm sure they've reworked a lot of things. If they're renaming it, I'm sure they reworked a lot of things. So it'd be interesting to return and check that out. Let's see. Wildermyth on console is pretty neat. I have that on PC and I actually really like it. It works great on Steam Deck. It's a lot of fun, so I'm happy to see people having access to that on console, not Steam. But I won't be picking it up again. I already have it. I'm happy with my current setup. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is a game that I should be picking up and playing, but I just have no interest after the last Call of Duty. And then this one, I'm finally at that point that a lot of people have been at way before me, that I don't think Call of Duty's trying anymore. And I think a lot of people would probably say that was a long time ago that happened. I don't fully agree, but now it just seems really apparent, especially after the original Modern Warfare remake, not Modern Warfare 2. That one felt like it almost reinvented COD again, and I was really into it. And then they took a back step right after that and made it more run and gun and stupid again. And so it's just in a weird place right now. I'm sure they'll reinvent themselves again, but Black Ops 6 is not doing it. Unless I hear amazing reviews topped with a bunch of people telling me you have to play it. It's so fucking good. But from what I've seen and what I'm hearing, it looks pretty meh. And the movement system that they're talking so much about, I don't even think looks that good. Plus, being able to grab people and do weird things, pulling it. I won't spoil anything. It just seems like the next. It's like Teabag 2.0. It's not. That's not a selling point for me. So, but good for anybody who's enjoying that. And then I'm kind of curious about Shadows of the Damned Hella Remastered, but not. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of the original, so maybe coming back to it with fresh eyes might change my mind on some things. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what people have to say about it, because sometimes when you remake games too, they like change faces or like ruin certain aspects of the game that made it special, and I don't know how that remaster is going to hold up. I know obviously and it's an old one, but Final Fantasy X's remaster is infamous for destroying their faces basically. So no remasters are created equally. All right, so that's what I think about the games coming out or that have already come out in October. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think in terms of games? Are you going to pick up any of these games? Have you already picked up these games? Is there any games that were not on this list that you would like to shout out? Maybe an indie game that's on Steam that comes out in October. Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. All right, let's jump into what we've been playing. And since it's just me, I'll talk about what I've been playing. And we'll go with the games that I can't talk about just yet, because they are our PlayStation Plus games that we'll be talking about at the end of the month for Plus Club. So make sure to play those, come back and talk with us about those. Those games are WWE 2K24, which I have played. I made a character so far, so I got to play more. I spent about an hour or two in the character creator, so I put some time into it. But I haven't really played the game. I have played through and beat Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I have a lot of things on my mind about that game, because I heard vague things about it, and then I played through it and I was like, oh, I get it. I get why people are talking about the way they talk about it. So stay tuned for that discussion. Also, if you're thinking about playing that, it's a pretty short experience, depending on, I guess, how fast you read. I don't know. It seems like it's only a couple hours long. So check that out. And then Dead Space I've also played. I played for anybody who doesn't know, I've played through and beat Dead Space Remake like 2.5 times on PC. So playing this, basically, I was just kind of checking how it plays on PS5, and I won't talk about anything on that, but I've played the first 2 chapters so far. So I'm not super far into the game, but I've played it enough to kind of know what the PS5 experience is like. So yeah, I'll have plenty to say on that game when we talk about the end of the month. And then I have not played Helldivers 2. I haven't had time to get some people together, and that's not a game I really like playing with randos. I mean, I will, but it's definitely a game that's better when you are playing with people that you can talk to, just because you need the coordination. I am excited to return to it, though, and it is our game of the month. You guys picked it. Community pick game of the month. You guys voted, and that was one that won. But I am excited to return to it, just because I haven't played it since it came out. I played it quite a bit when it first came out, but then I took a break, and then they've added a bunch of stuff since then, so I'm excited to see all that stuff. So games I can talk about, pretty minimal list. I've only played a couple games for the last 2 weeks. As you guys know, I've been playing the finals. I play the finals literally every single day. I get my dailies done. I play for a little bit, play for an hour or two, depending on time. And I won't go too far into what I think about it, because we just did a experiment, and when I say we, I'm talking about me, Josh, and Cody. We just did a 2.5 hour on accident. I thought it was gonna be an hour-long podcast. 2.5 hour podcast on the finals, season 4, talking about the most recent patch 4.2, talking about what we think of season 4 so far in detail. We talk about all the guns, the new map, the new sponsors, and then we talk about like I said, the patch. We go through all the nerfs, everything that like matters to gameplay. We don't go over like all the bug fixes and shit. That would be ridiculous. And then we talk about the future of the game and what we'd like to see come to the game in this season, but also in future seasons. So it was a lot of fun for us to talk about it. We're all big The Finals fans. We literally filmed it like right after playing the game, so we're pretty fresh on the topic. So yeah, if you're playing the finals or interested in the finals, or just curious to see why we like it so much, check out that podcast. I don't expect the community here to really care too much about that podcast, but it would be cool to see, because the finals has a very dedicated community that's not really growing. It's growing a little bit in season 4, but it needs to grow more, but there's not a lot of content for it. So I felt like it's something we're all really big fans of, and people out there, people make videos on like, changes to the game, but there's no conversations happening around the game. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to do a podcast on it. We'll see how it does. It won't be like a super regular thing. I don't have the time for that, but I would like to maybe put out like maybe 1 or 2 podcasts a month when it comes to the finals, when it comes to big changes and how we're feeling about it. Not every episode will be 2.5 hours either, because we went to full detail on season 4. We won't be doing that every episode. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully you guys like it. I thought we had a really good conversation, but that's why I won't talk about the finals here. We already did it. So other games I've played, Echo Point Nova, which is a little indie game on Steam. I highly recommend it. I think it's like $11. It's like really fucking cheap, but basically it is a up to 4-player cooperative first-person shooter that you are on islands and you travel around these islands. It's like an open map. You can decide where you want to go, and there's like challenges on the islands, collectibles, little orbs that affect your agility, kind of similar to Crackdown back in the day. You have a hoverboard that you can like speed around and like drift and wall ride with the hoverboard. There's a grappling hook that you get upgrades to, so you get more grapples that you can like kind of Spider-Man around. You find weapons all over the place. You shoot enemies. There's ragdoll, which I'm a big fan of, kind of a normal thing in games, but it's got like a good weight to it, which I really enjoy. You can play the game, or not you can play the game, but there's an ability where you can slow down the game. So the ragdoll really kind of shines in that slow-mo, which is pretty cool. And I picked it up because when I was reading the reviews for it, people were saying it's like one of the best movement games they'd ever played. It kind of felt like Titanfall, which is a huge, factor in recommending it to me. Titanfall obviously plays fantastic when it comes to movement. And so, yeah, I picked it up. I really like it. The game looks okay. It could look better, but I kind of dig the visual style to it. It's kind of simplistic, but it's all about the movement. I haven't played a game, and if you have, let me know in the comments what it is. I haven't played a game with this much freedom in how you move. It's really crazy. You can do backflips, and it's not a button you press. You literally, if you just keep looking up, you'll flip over. So if you put in slow-mo, you can like keep looking up and just like shoot somebody upside down. Eventually you'll come right back up if you just, let it go, but it can get kind of disorienting. Sometimes when you're grappling and you're going straight up, you're looking up, and if you go look up too far, you start kind of flipping like in a weird way, and it's you get used to it, but it's kind of disorienting because most games don't allow for that kind of movement. But I really like it, and the co-op isn't like a cooperative experience where like you're like, all right, I'm going here, follow me, or back me up, or like I got you, blah 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 blah. It's like you and your friend are playing Quake against NPCs, and you just kind of every once in a while see each other passing by and jumping by and shooting. It's a cooperative effort. You're killing all the enemies you need to, but there's not like a whole lot of like team synergy. So the game's fun. The game's fun solo. I think it is better co-op because you get to have fun with your friend and go, oh shit, that was crazy. But it doesn't offer like a teamwork experience. But it's still a lot of fun. Definitely better with friends than not. But I highly recommend it, especially for the price point. I mean, you're not going to get this fun of an experience with this many things to be collecting with awesome gameplay for this price, unless something's on sale. Like, it's me and Josh are playing it, and the whole time I was like, AAA is confused on why people aren't buying a lot of their games now that are all $70 and just rehashes of games they've already made over and over and over again. And here an indie team made this game, sold it for $11, and I'm having more fun with it than I'm having with most AAA games. Like, AAA games are just like nice looking, but even indie games nowadays are starting to look nice looking. So it's like just another reason that AAA needs to start adjusting the way they're prioritizing developing games and how they sell them to us, because if they don't adapt, it's over. Ubisoft is, I bring up Ubisoft again. Ubisoft is like trying to figure out if they need to sell the company, go private, all sorts of shit, because they went from, I think somebody said, how much was it, like 9 billion a couple years ago to 1 billion in like how much they're worth right now. It's like a huge decrease. It's fucking insane because their games keep coming out and underselling. And it's like, I don't want to see anybody fail, but it's like, you can't just keep doing the same fucking mistake over and over and over again and then go, I don't get it. Well, if you don't get it, if you can't get it, bye. Like, it's a business. You got to make money. So anyway, not to bring up Ubisoft again. It's just something I've talked about for fucking years now. And just, Echo Point Nova, I highly recommend it. You should definitely check it out. It's cheap, it's fun, and it's multiplayer. I mean, what more can you ask for? And then the other game that I've been playing lately, about 1-2 hours a night, I'll come home from work, I'll sit down, I'll play this game, fucking get stressed the fuck out before going to bed, is Silent Hill 2, the remake of Silent Hill 2, made by Bloober Team. I did put out a TikTok /short here and over on TikTok about my general thoughts on this remake. I won't talk spoilers, even though the original game's been out forever and everybody knows the fucking story. I'm not interested in spoiling it for you. If you are wanting that, go watch one of the millions of videos out there that will tell you everything about the game. But I originally said when it came to Silent Hill 2 that this is a gigantic gamble for Bloober because they were relatively unproven. And I say that as somebody who's played a lot of their games already. They made a lot of indie horror games, very by the numbers horror games that didn't really have a lot of action or interactivity, more so just walking through experiences. And Silent Hill's not that. And so it's not that I doubted that they could make a good game. It's just like I did not see anything from them prior that shows that they have the ability to make something of the caliber that Silent Hill 2. Where's Soul Calibur? Dude, I fucking want a new one. What it deserves, what the fans are going to want from that. Like, you take that job on, you better make that game good. Because if you fuck it up, you're gone. You're going under. People will hold it against you forever. And so it's awesome to be able to see and say that the Silent Hill 2 remake is really good. As soon as I start playing it, the graphics are just like beautiful. The atmosphere is perfect. The sound design is some of the best sound design I've seen in a game in years, easily. It's like, there's games out there that like the only thing you hear when you walk through environments is like your footsteps. And it's just like, that's it. And this game, you can hear the wind, you can hear the trees, you can hear your feet or your foot stepping in all sorts of different environments, like concrete, mud, all that stuff. You approach a chain link fence to a tunnel that you can't go into. You can't even go in here, but you walk up to it and you can hear the sound like change when you approach it. You can hear things in that tunnel, and then you walk away from it and it's gone. They don't need to do that, but they did. You're walking through the woods, you hear all sorts of stuff in the woods, and you should, because in Silent Hill 2 you heard that as well, but it's like so much more rich and detailed. All the environments are so well done audio-wise, and visually too. The game's super fucking detailed. It's beautiful. It's so awesome to be able to explore Silent Hill in this detail. and more places to go too. There's more buildings you can go inside, and it's just more of what you want. But the audio is fantastic. You're hearing music that's super dynamic, that changes up, keeping you always tense, which is what you need from a Silent Hill. It's what Silent Hill has always done. It's all about keeping that tension, so you don't want to keep walking forward. You're like, I don't want to keep going. I don't know what the fuck's over there. What's around the corner? But then you have all the sounds you're making. You have all the ambient sounds. You have sounds of things that are actually in the environment, and then you have sounds of things that are kind of like Dead Space, representing what you'd be hearing in other rooms as well. That isn't actually going to affect you, but it's just this like mesh of sound design that just creates this atmosphere that there's just no game that has this right now. It's the sound design alone is just like commendable. It's like they deserve something for that. It's better than every other horror game out there. The only thing I can think of that's even similar to it is like Dead Space remake. Has really good sound design too, but like this is better. So good job, Bloober team, on that detail, because I don't think a lot of people will appreciate it that much. I'm nerding out about it, but gameplay's good. Combat feels good. It feels tense. I've been playing the game kind of like a Souls-like. I see a lot of people complaining that there's not enough health and not enough ammo. I have currently like 140 rounds for my pistol. And I think I have like 13 health drinks and like 6 shots. So I'm sitting good. If something happens, I'll use the shit. But I feel good. I'm mostly just meleeing through the game. Like I'm playing it like a Dark Souls game, and it's not like a Dark Souls game. It's not designed like that, but it does have a combat system that has a dodge, and I'm definitely it's a pretty liberal dodge. It's very, very helpful, and so I use it for most encounters. There's certain types of enemies that I don't want to deal with if there's like 4 of them, so I'll shoot like 2 of them, or I'll weaken a couple of them, and I run up and I hit them to save myself some ammo. But it allows for that kind of combat without feeling too actiony. They found a really good balance of it being more interactive in terms of combat, but also still like save your ammo. Your accuracy is not even that great. You have to wait a second for it to tighten up. So you can't just like run and gun very easily. And then even if you are perfectly dodging all the enemy's attacks, it feels really tense because they're in your face. You're like watching their cues on the way they move. When you do get hit, it takes quite a bit. Your screen starts getting red around the corners. Even the way your character moves is different when you get damaged, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, the combat is really good, but it's not about the combat. It's a horror game, and this game is actually scary, which is awesome. Because I play horror games all the time. I fucking love just horror in general. I'm not looking to get scared. I would like to be scared in a horror game, but I just like horror-themed stuff. I like dark, macabre, creepy shit. And so I'll play all the horror games, and I enjoy all of them, but most of them don't scare me. I think the last game that was scary to me was Phasmophobia, like early on. Just because it's so dynamic. You don't know what to expect. If you play it long enough, you know everything. But I've watched videos of people going like, well, I heard this, that means this, and they just leave and it's over. And it's like, I never want to get to the point in that game where I'm not even playing it anymore. But yeah, most time there's just not like a genuine fear factor in a lot of games because they rely on jump scares. The jump scares are effective the one time, and after that scare's done. You shot your shot, it probably worked, but then it's over, and you're like, oh, they got me. It's whatever. And a lot of times I kind of expect a jump scare because if you just listen to audio, it'll get lower, and they're getting you ready to try and get you with a jump scare. But Silent Hill 2 has what the original Silent Hill 2 had, but probably better now. This like cornucopia of like giant amalgamation of just sound and visuals that create this atmosphere that you're just like worried about every step you take moving forward. There's this, even if you played the original game, you're still like, I don't know what's coming, and every hit means something. It takes a lot of your health. There's no, like, as far as I know so far, upgrades to make yourself stronger. And so they've done a really good job on, like, just making it tense, so when things do happen, it's terrifying. And everything's so, like, close quarters, except for when you're running outdoors, that it feels really intimate. So that's great. Yeah, and not a lot of jump scares. There's been a couple times where something attacks me. It's not like a pre-baked jump scare. It's like they have an AI with, and you guys have probably seen the memes at this point. There's certain enemies that will, like, you'll walk in a room and you'll see them run off into the dark. And a lot of times that'd be like a set piece. It always is going to happen like that. But in this, some of the enemies actually do look for locations to hide. And if you see where they went, you can walk up and kind of peek the corner and see their leg or something, like, oh, that's where you're at. But sometimes they're already hiding when you go into a room and you don't know they're there. And the worst is when you're fighting somebody already, and then the one that was hiding attacks you, because then you have no idea they're coming. And these kind of situations create really intense and terrifying moments that I think are fucking awesome. The story's told really well. It is Silent Hill 2. Most of it's verbatim. Some things have been changed. The performances are really good. It adds a legitimacy to the story. As a huge Silent Hill 2 fan, I love the original game. I love how the voice actors talk in the original game. It adds to this weird, eerie essence that is that game. The way they talk, it's like not great voice acting. But this has, like, legitimate modern day voice acting in it, and I think it's done very well. I think the characters are done and realized really well, even though they feel slightly different. I think they're all good, so that's cool. And the music, talking about the audio again, the music. I'm such a huge fan of Silent Hill and its music, and Akira Yamaoka. He's such a huge influence for me in my music throughout the years. Even things I've done with, like, video. I'm super inspired by the music accompanied with the visuals of Silent Hill. That, like, I've done a bunch of projects in the past that were heavily inspired by just that feeling that they get from Akira Yamaoka's music, mixed with, like, these bizarre and crazy and scary images that you get. I always remember back to, like, the Silent Hill 4 trailer when it was first revealed. That was, like, so, like, inspirational for me artistically. That trailer, it's just a trailer, but I just fucking love it so much. It's so well crafted, scene by scene, with the music. And so anyway, huge fan of Akira Yamaoka. He's been super inspirational for me. And to have him come back and do the same songs but with a different twist is really fucking cool. And Bloober nailed the atmosphere, of course, but the music mixed in with these scenes. I'll hear these songs come up, and there's a part of that nostalgia of, like, oh shit, I love this song, but also it's a different version. And I'm just like, oh, this is like a new experience though too. It's such a cool experience to get to revisit this game in a different light. So yeah, overall, I've been really enjoying this game. I'm probably over halfway through it now. I think people were saying like 10 or 20 hours. It's like a shorter game, but I'm definitely taking my time with it. I'm like the beginning of the game when you're in the parking lot and you go through the trail to get into the town. I like didn't run. I just kind of like step by step walked down this trail and just looked at everything. I was watching the trees swaying in the wind. I'm watching the fog physics, and their fog engine is fucking awesome. And I'm just looking at every little detail. And so even when I'm going through, like, the apartment and everything's trying to murder me, I'm still just, like, looking at everything going, like, this is so cool, dude. Like, you guys did such a good job on this. So yeah, I'm glad Bloober took the assignment serious. They knocked it out of the park. So much so that I am ready for Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill, to be remade by them. I think they would nail it. Now that I've played this, I'm like, okay, yeah, green light, you guys remake the games. And the one that needs it the most is the original game. And I fucking love the original game. To play that game in modern graphics, not even just like an upgrade from PS2 to now, but PlayStation to now, would be so fucking cool. So I hope they do that. I know the rumors are saying Silent Hill 3 will be the next one, but I would hate that just because its connection with Silent Hill, I'll just keep it as spoiler free as I can. I think you need to do Silent Hill first, and it's the one that deserves it the most. So, yeah, hopefully we get that one. But I'll take any of them, 1 through 4, any of them. I'll take them. So, Bloober proved themselves. They made an awesome game. I'm fucking loving it so far, and I highly recommend it. If you're somebody who was a naysayer or kind of on the same fence as me in the sense of like, I don't know if it's going to be good. It kind of looked shitty, kind of looked good at the same time. I can confirm to you it's awesome. You should play it. So, especially if you're a Silent Hill fan, if you're worried about it like not being as good as the original Silent Hill 2, that still exists. You can go back and play that anytime. So, this is definitely an awesome Silent Hill experience. It's the first one since Silent Hill 4. The first awesome Silent Hill experience since Silent Hill 4, which is fucking crazy. So, yeah, I appreciate the work that they put into it and how serious they took it. So, yeah, that is all I've been playing. So let me know in the comments, what games have you guys been playing? Have you played Silent Hill 2? Have you played the finals? And have you heard of Echo Point Nova? Have you played that? And what games are you playing? And what games would you recommend me play? Let me know everything you think about in the comments below. All right, we got some videos to watch. It's slim pickings, though, this week. Like, I've been searching all over the place for something to react to, and there's just like nothing. But this is kind of an interesting thing, so we're going to watch this. This is the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo official announcement trailer. This was revealed 3 days ago, and apparently Nintendo's making an alarm clock. The reason I want to watch this is it's video game related, but also like, what the fuck is Nintendo making an alarm clock for? What are you doing that's worth making an alarm clock? Like, why the hell are you doing it? So let's find out what this is. I don't know what to expect. This is Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo in 3, 2, 1, go. Got an alarm clock before Switch 2.
Sound Clock Alarmo, an interactive alarm clock that's out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Let's see what it's like to wake up with Alarmo.
AC adapter sold separately? Fuck.
Oh,
I hate that.
do you hear that? The alarm is going off. But Alarmo doesn't just play music to start your day.
It's waking up to a party.
That's right. It responds to your body's movement with game sounds. Like here, with the sound of coins from Super Mario Odyssey.
It's reacting to your body movement?
Or here, with the sound of ink splats from Splatoon 3.
I don't want to wake up to gunshots.
And here, from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The music combines with sound effects created by your movement, so you can start the day feeling like you're in the kingdom of Hyrule. And when you get out of bed,
That's a lot going on, waking up to.
oh, a fanfare plays and the alarm comes to an end.
Huh. That's kind of cool you don't have to touch it. Put that fucker across the room from me so I can't
You see,
snooze it.
Alarmo detects movement with its motion sensor.
Okay.
And responds to your actions with sounds.
Can I just get like a clock
When you get out
that
of bed,
alarm clock that does that?
Alarmo
That doesn't look
stops
like this?
automatically, without you needing to touch it. Keep in mind, though, the alarm will get more intense the longer it takes for you to get up.
Oh shit.
So, rise and shine.
It's scary.
You can set an alarm inspired by 5 games. Super Mario Odyssey,
Okay. That's okay.
Pikmin 4.
I have no affinity for Pikmin, but might be chill.
Splatoon 3.
Not only have I not played Splatoon 3, nobody has. I've never met a single person who's played that game.
Ring Fit Adventure.
That's kind of lame.
I knew these guys would show up.
And The Legend of Zelda.
Not
Breath of
Metroid
the
or-
Wild.
Wake up, Link.
Metroid?
Each game features 7 alarm varieties, known as scenes.
Mario Kart?
And they all have their own combination of music
Interesting.
and sounds. And when you connect to the internet, you can get more alarms as free updates as they become available.
Okay, that's cool. Animal Crossing.
Besides
That's a good
the
one.
alarm function, Alarmo is packed with features to support you throughout the day, such as sleepy sounds, which play when you get
Ooh.
into bed and help you wind down.
Ooh, I like that.
Records, which keep a log of your sleep and movement while in bed.
I don't need that kind of reminder that I'm not sleeping enough.
And Hourly Chime, which features various Nintendo characters signaling the top of the hour.
That's interesting. I don't need to be
Add some
reminded of
play
that,
to the
but
start of your day. Alarmo. For a limited time, Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo is only available for purchase online by paid Nintendo Switch Online members in the US and Canada.
oh, they're pulling a
Starting today,
PS5
Nintendo
Pro over
Sound
in
Clock
Japan thing.
Alarmo will also be available to purchase in person at the Nintendo New York store while supplies last.
Okay. They'll eventually be available everywhere, though. Okay, so Nintendo's making an alarm clock, and they've somehow found a way to gamify it, which I think is kind of neat. Honestly, I think the features are pretty good. I don't like the way the clock looks, though. It obviously, like if you're a kid, it makes sense to have something like that. It looks like a kid's clock. It's weird to even think about having an alarm clock in modern day. Everybody just uses their phone. But the sensor thing is actually pretty cool. I don't know if is there alarm clocks that already do that? I haven't looked into alarm clocks in a long time. But I like that it's actually tracking your movement, and it's incentivizing, or not incentivizing, it's like making noise as you move to kind of, I guess, encourage you to get up, which I like. I also like that you don't have to interact with it. It can tell when you stand up. Like, that's pretty big, because with my phone will be going off, and if I'm awake enough, I'll get up. But a lot of times I just fucking hit snooze and keep sleeping. And it'd be nice to have something that's, you don't have to touch it. You could put it further away, and it wakes you up as it should. And then, of course, if you're a big fan of Nintendo, all those themes are going to be awesome. I'm sure it'd be great to wake up to the gunshots of a Splatoon war, or that weird high-pitched sound that Zelda was making. But overall, I think it sounds really cool. And I think the soothing sounds when you're going to bed, on paper, sounds nice. I can't sleep with earbuds in, because I just think about it, just like I can't have like a face mask on or anything when I'm trying to sleep, because I just think about how something is in my ear or on my face, and I just am distracted and can't fall asleep. So having that kind of stuff happening without the earbuds, sounds kind of nice and relaxing, but that's also not part of my routine of sleeping, having relaxing music play, but it sounds cool. So, but overall, this is a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. I just like that sensor feature. I just want an alarm clock that has that. It doesn't have to be the Nintendo one. It's just any in general. I think that'd be good for me. I think it'd be good in my life, possibly. But yeah, overall, pretty cool. Also sounds like they're trying to be smart about releasing this thing by only selling it to people who are part of that membership. Just like in Japan, they're making it so if you buy a PS5 Pro or pre-order one, I think it's the 30th collection one that looks like a PlayStation. I think you have to be like a PlayStation Plus member for like 6 months to be able to purchase one. That's to counter all the bots that are buying shit up and selling it secondhand. So I don't know if that's why they're doing it here, but it reminds me of that. So maybe that's to at least be able to verify who's buying it, but also reward people who are members that, they get first dibs. So it's a good incentive. It's cool. But something like this and Nintendo, they'll be everywhere at some point. So if you are interested in getting this, no FOMO. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this Nintendo sound clock? I know it's weird, but is it interesting to you at all? Something that you'd possibly pick up? Is it a complete waste of your fucking time and money? You would never buy something like this. And let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to a Nintendo clock. Alarmo. It's got a good name. All right, next video we got is a game called Soulslinger Envoy of Death official gameplay overview trailer. This is like 2 minutes long. This is a first-person shooter coming out. It seemed kind of interesting when I was doing some looking around at things to possibly react to. And we'll watch it and see if it's worth our time, just like the Alarmo. I don't know anything about this game, so I think I at one of the events this year, they showed it off quickly during one of the presentations because it sounds familiar, but it's not ringing a bell. So we'll watch this. We'll see if there's any hype to it. So let's get into that. This is Soulslinger Envoy of Death in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, I'm Adatoshoy, founder and lead designer of Elder Games. I'm here to introduce you to the gameplay of our upcoming game, Soulslinger Envoy of Death, and how you become strong enough to survive the afterlife.
Is this like
You play
another
as
Doom
Soulslinger,
style first-person
a
shooter?
dead soul recruited into a war against the mysterious undead cartel that's taken over Limbo. Over time, you'll become an unstoppable Envoy of Death.
Okay,
But
that's
since
cool.
it's a roguelite, you'll be pretty darn stoppable to start with.
Roguelite.
Luckily, your boss,
That could be
Death,
fun.
has your back, and he's ready to send you back to Limbo again and again until your mission is complete.
Real quick, I don't want to keep talking over this guy. The game looks kind of indie, so it doesn't look that great, but also kind of looks nice, except for the guns. Do the guns not look weird to you? Like, they look like these little thin, like, toys that he's holding, all of them. I don't know why the guns look so weird. The rest of the game looks fine, just that all the guns seem like super, it's like he's holding like a pencil or something. It's fucking weird. All right.
Once you've cleared an area of enemies, you receive a reward
I like that.
and can choose a portal to step through.
So this
Each
is like
portal shows what you'll gain from the area beyond.
Very
whether it's
straightforward.
Assistance from friendly NPCs or specific rewards for clearing out the cartel. For example, if you're looking for powerful abilities and passive boosters, seek out essences. These orbs, full of rescued souls, offer you 3 powers to choose from when you pick them up. Lesser essences give simple but useful buffs. But the real spice is in primal essences, which infuse Soulslinger with elemental energy. You can choose elemental powers to complement your playstyle. But if you fall, when you fall, don't worry. You'll return to the mysterious realm of Haven, where you can gain more permanent upgrades and equipment for future
See, it looks
works.
nice.
And what's a gunslinger without a gun to sling? The crafting table allows Soulslinger to craft a variety of weapons, as well as tools and artifacts that will aid him in the journey. By collecting your own mix of essence buffs, crafted weapons, and
Ooh,
resources
pistol.
for permanent upgrades, you can customize your gameplay and progression. The more you delve into Limbo and the deeper you go, the more choices you have, and the stronger you become.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. This kind of reminds me of Doom Eternal, but
But don't get cocky. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
does it have co-op?
Thanks for checking out our preview of Soulslinger. If you enjoyed it, make sure to wishlist us on Steam and try out our demo. See you there.
This demo, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Looks like it definitely looks like an indie game that would be recommended to me on Steam, and I'm sure it will be. This is definitely a game I would play. The gameplay looks fun. The gunplay looks decent. Graphics are okay, except for the guns are fucking weird looking to me. My first thought, though, this whole video is, I would play this for sure, depending on the price point, but does it have co-op? 2-player at the least. It doesn't need more than that. Just playing this with a friend, that would be almost a guaranteed buy from me. Just because this is the type of game I would definitely play. I play games like this all the time. That Echo Point Nova game, way crazier than this, but it's just a co-op shooter. You run around, go in arenas, and shoot shit. And I love that kind of simple shooter experience. and this seems to have that. So the effects are cool. The spells look interesting. It look like, almost remind me of like Armored Core, just shooting a bunch of missiles into them. And then I like that every arena you go to, there's a reward at the end, like a roguelite should have, that each run is going to feel new, different, dynamic. I also like that there's permanent upgrades. That's a must for me with a roguelite. I can't waste my time playing a game where I don't progress and get permanent upgrades in a roguelite. I can appreciate those kind of games, but I just can't play them. I need to be working towards something. So I'm glad they have that. I'm glad there's weapons to craft and unlock and upgrade mixed with, the things you're getting on these runs. So definitely sounds like a game I would play. And if you can play with a friend, I would easily play it. I would definitely. What's that fucking game? And if Josh is watching this, he's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Robo something. It's a roguelite that is 2-player co-op, and it's fucking awesome. It's a really fun game. Definitely recommend it if I could tell you the name of it. But this kind of reminds me of that, just with this dark fantasy Western look. So yeah, definitely a game that I would play. And if they say it has co-op, and I'll look on the Steam page after filming, then I'll probably pick it up. So yeah, looks fun. Nothing revolutionary, but definitely a game I would play. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think about Soulslinger, Envoy of Death. Is this a game you would play? Is this a game you have played? Have you played the demo? Would you recommend it? And any information you have on this game, let me know. And games like this, any game like this that you play that you'd recommend, Gunfire Reborn, something like that, let me know. Recommend them to me. These are games I definitely play. So let me know in the comments below everything you think about when it comes to all that shit. All right, next and last two videos are the same game, but I thought it'd be good to kind of get a little bit of preview and gameplay. So this is a game called Sand. It's just Sand. This is the first preview. They'll be talking about what this game is, what it's bringing to the table, and then I have a gameplay video of a demo they played to see it in action. From what I've gathered, I haven't watched a whole lot on this. I've seen a little bit. It's like Sea of Thieves, but on like spider mechs in a desert. It's like co-op, you're working together, and that's about all I know. So that sounds like an interesting premise. Definitely sounds like a game I would play. I'm really curious to find out what this is and if it's going to be worth our time. So yeah, with that said, let's just jump in and find out more about this game and see if it is going to be a game that I'm going to have to pick up or maybe pick up on sale or just skip, because there's been a couple games. Guns of Icarus, I think, is one where you're in like airships. It's kind of a cool idea, but kind of fell flat. So yeah, we'll see what this is. In 3, 2, 1, go.
If stomping your way across the desert on a giant, leggy, weaponized platform with a few of your best friends sounds like a good time,
it does.
Then have I got the game for you. Especially if along the way you want to explore a ruined world, scavenge wrecks and ruins, take pot shots at other scavengers, and get in a few knockdown, drag-out landship brawls with hostile crews with their own custom-built trampler mechs.
That's cool.
That's just what goes down in Sand, an upcoming PvPvE survival shooter where you and your crew want to just get down to the planet Sophie, get the goods while exploring the surface, and get out, hopefully making a profit in the process. The world is an alternate history before World War I, so your gear in the world is all this riveted industrial stuff from the age of ironclad dreadnoughts, old western revolver rifles, trousers with suspenders, and some absolutely legendary facial hair. I was able to...
One thing I want to add to this real fast is gameplay is going to be so important to this game, because there's a lot of games that play around with these ideas, but they don't play... They have nothing to their gameplay that you're going to choose it over the game you're already playing. And so the concept of this, I'm already sold. I think this sounds fucking awesome, and we've barely watched this video. But if the gameplay is like really basic, you're not going to pull people into it. And then if people aren't getting pulled into it, people aren't going to play it, and it's just going to die. So hopefully the gameplay's cool. Let's find out.
Sit down and try a PvP-only test build of Sand with some of the developers. Showing off a game that has a clear design vision,
boom.
I think will really resonate with some gamers.
Yeah, we barely got past the intro. I already had opinions on it.
Taking a bold note from the more crafting-heavy games like Rust, or from map-based games like Sea of Thieves, Sand has a slower pace of events. Your trampler can be pretty fast, depending on how you outfit it, but it still moves and turns like a great stomping ship. Spotting enemies in the distance by their smoke plume is one thing,
What do you
but
do
your
while
pilot
you're
has
just
to do a
traveling?
good job maneuvering, and it always helps to have a navigator plotting the course. That's not to mention your real purpose for hitting the surface: loot. Shipwrecks and island towns litter the once wet surface of the planet Sophie, any of which could have the find that lets you strike it rich, or the ammo or power cores that keep your ship going for another round of searches, or the weapons and gear that outfit your crew for a boarding action against another ship that was more successful in finding the riches.
Okay.
To get all that done, you have to take a more methodical approach, and the controls reflect that. You can carry very little loot on your person before you need to find a container to hold it in. You always have to aim before firing a weapon, which I found really helped differentiate the size and purpose differences between the pistol, revolver rifle, and
Interesting.
sniper rifle I found on the surface.
So it's
I found
Arma.
shotgun shells too, but no shotgun. Trampler battles are also slower paced. It's a challenge just lining up targets as the gate of your mech throws off aim, and the roller dunes present a constant challenge in just getting a good line of sight.
That's cool though, because then you have to get like good
Other
at
tramplers
shooting,
take a lot of hits
like
from
Sea of
cannons
Thieves.
to go down, requiring you to destroy their engine room for a real takedown, which, depending on how good of a shot you are, might take more shells than you brought with you or found on the surface. But it's either that or board the enemy trampler, kill the crew, and capture their helm to make it your own. With that much work and risk in a trampler-on-trampler brawl, you need to make sure it's worth it, because there's a real sting in spending 10 or 15 minutes chasing someone down to realize they don't have anything worth stealing. Not to mention the circumstance I can foresee players dreading the most: when a fight starts and the other salvage crews start circling like vultures to pick off whoever survives. That's a scenario I saw more than once through my binoculars. Not for my crew, though. We had a giant trampler to stomp around in, a ramshackle monster that the developers assured me was not something you can build with starting resources. A pretty robust, in-depth system of trampler design lets you place sleeping compartments, the helm, storage facilities, the engines, decks, more engines, fighting
That's
balconies,
kinda fucking
fighting
cool.
emplacements, and guns all over these things. You can even do cool stuff like customize where doors and hatches are located to make your ship a maze that enemies will struggle to invade. All of that takes the
Interesting.
resources you've gathered from the planet below. And you are somewhat still risking it every single time you take your new steel behemoth down for another run, which is something I already know I'll find myself doing whenever I get my hands next on Sand. For more on Sand, don't miss the reveal trailer and official gameplay trailer. And for everything else in
Okay.
the world of video games, stick with IGN.
All right, so let's watch the gameplay demo real quick and see it in action. But it sounds like a really cool concept. It 100% sounds like a game I would play. I like the customization of the ship. That's really cool. It's like a feature that gives it something unique. I also like the old-timey visual style, but also the guns. I love guns from like older times. Winchester rifles and carbines, bolt action stuff. I also like that you have to aim to shoot, so you're not running gunning basically. Gives it something that feels a little more methodical. And combat reminds me a lot of Sea of Thieves when it comes to the ship combat. Of course, you're not on waves, but I like that they added dunes that kind of roll. So like, and your ship movement affects your aim. So like, you can't just shoot somebody on a flat plane from across the map and just kind of cheese it. So that sounds like a good design that they went for. And yeah, overall sounds really cool. Let's check out gameplay. It's crazy how, damn, I fucking just took it right out. The explosion looks pretty decent too. It's crazy how these ships just have like just smoke billowing out of them. Like it's obviously almost reminds me of like the sails on the ships in Sea of Thieves, but it's such a huge indicator of where somebody's at that you're not gonna be able to hide while driving one of these. Oh, this is like a hodgepodge. This is just the footage they had in the other video. mixed together. I thought it was going to be like straight up gameplay. This 100% reminds me of Sea of Thieves. For anybody listening, they're like running into locations and picking up stuff and bringing it back to the ship. This is literally Sea of Thieves without water. Like they said, like the ocean is dried up, so it's just like a huge desert, but it's the exact same premise. And that's kind of cool because Sea of Thieves has its issues, but as a sandbox experience, it's really fun to play with friends, and it needs competition. There should be more games that are just like it, but offering their own spin on it. You don't want to be an exact copycat unless you can make a better game. But if you're gonna do something like it, do something that it doesn't offer, and this seems to be doing that for the most part, especially with all the guns and the customization of the ship, which I think is the coolest feature. That was actually the biggest thing that sold Starfield to me, was ship customization. But then I played through that and just beat it, never went back to it. So I hear the expansion's not that great either, which is a bummer to hear. The only thing I think they need to fix on that game, though, is load times and the AI, because it's really bad. See, this looks pretty cool. Then hopefully the rest of your team, if they have like long rifles or something, can actually shoot as well, even though it seems like there's multiple cannons, so you got multiple people shooting. I wonder if there's any like defensive measures though. Are you just at the mercy of people who can either hit you or can't? Okay, there he is. He's shooting while they're in combat. I don't know what the hell this song is. Is this part of this game, or is this just something they added to the video? It's a little buck wild. It is buck as fuck. Do you do more damage if you shoot that chimney thing? Seems like he keeps aiming for it. Also, whoever they keep playing against in these combat scenarios, they're like not fighting back. Oh, never mind. They just shot it. It just seems like they weren't doing much. I wonder what the control scheme and piloting feels like, because I like controlling movement of vehicles in games. I also like shooting shit, but certain people don't like to be responsible for like flying a ship or helicopter in Battlefield or whatever, but I always really enjoy that stuff. That guy is a son of a bitch back there. That's Daniel Day-Lewis. There you go. Nice shot. Very rarely I get to tell somebody at IGN, nice shot. This, I don't know the greater details to the rest of the game, but this seems like a really good foundation that they could build on. It already seems like a game I want to play, but it does already seem kind of repetitive. Kind of like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is all about the sandbox adventure you have with your friends. This will be similar, but you don't have like the visual of the rolling water and the storms and stuff. You're just kind of walking across sand. So like when you're standing on this platform and it's walking across empty land without combat, what are you doing? Just kind of talking about what you did today with your friends and going, hey, did you hear Ubisoft is confused why they're not making the money they think they should after years of people complaining? Talking about Ubisoft again. This is hauling ass right now. Okay, we're seeing the piloting, the controls. I like that the ship actually moves with the environment too. That's a cool touch. Seems like you're affecting velocity and then turning left and right with the stick. Kinda mech-esque. Are they playing against bots? These people are so bad. That was weird. There's almost like no animation between him dying or standing and then being dead. Oh my god, slowest fucking ladder I've ever seen. Holy shit, you can't do this. This is literally illegal. You can't walk up a ladder this slow in a game anymore. You have to be able to hold shift or run and be able to go up and down that ladder quickly. What is this? Metal Gear Solid 3? What ship? Okay, okay. Even that's pretty slow, but it's faster. I'm just wanting him to free fall at this point. I want him to just jump off and hit the ground. So it says ship arriving. It's got a countdown after he climbed a tower and activated a radio. Oh, it's an actual ship flying in, and it's got green smoke coming out of his ship. Is it going to pick it up? Oh, okay. So it's like an extraction shooter. Interesting. And then they're hitting chords and going up. That's kind of cool. Kind of like the Dark Zone in that fucking Ubisoft game. Yeah, I pretty much spoke my mind about everything about this game as it was going, but the concept sounds really cool. Sounds like a game I would absolutely play. The visuals look indie, look okay, but I kind of like it. I like not the graphical aspect of it, but the design. I like the visual style they're going for. Ship combat looks fun enough. I don't know what you're doing while on the ship, hanging out. Hopefully there's some interactive things you can do, maybe. Ship customization looks awesome. The extraction shooter aspect of it is definitely a game I would play. Definitely an idea that I like. And yeah, what else? The gun combat looks decent. Kind of weird with the death animations, but not a big deal. It's obviously an indie game. And yeah, overall, I think I would definitely play this. Depending on the price point, I assume it'd be like a $20, $30 game, maybe 40 tops, but I don't know if I'd pay $40 for this game. But yeah, it looks like a good alternative to Sea of Thieves, whether you didn't like Sea of Thieves, but you want to play a game similar to that, or you've played Sea of Thieves a shitload and you just need something else that's kind of similar, but different, a different experience. I think this might be pretty cool for a lot of people, but I am kind of worried that it will have like a month or two of people playing it and then it will die off. So hopefully it has enough content and more specifically things to work towards to keep people playing this game. Otherwise, I do kind of see a dead game right now looking at this, and it's not even out. Or it might be out. Maybe this game has come out. I don't remember what he said. But yeah, games like this always kind of worry me. Indie multiplayer games. Like, for instance, Marauders is a really, really fucking cool extraction shooter. That game is, like, struggling to get people to play it. I had one of the devs on X tell me that the amount of time it took for me to get into matches was irregular. I'm like, dude, I used to be able to get into matches really quickly in this game. It's taken, like, 8 minutes to get into a game now. Not a good sign. So yeah, these kind of like games that are solely multiplayer need people playing it. If you can't keep people playing it, it ruins it for the people who are playing it, and then they'll quit, and then the game just fucking dies. So I'm hoping this game will have enough going on with it to keep people playing it, keep it interesting, and yeah, looks pretty cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Sand. A really simple game, or name for a game, Sand. It's hard to forget. Does it seem like a game you would play? Does it seem like a game you are going to play? Something you definitely wouldn't play? Maybe you're not into multiplayer games. Maybe you're not into Sea of Thieves style games. Maybe you're so dedicated to Sea of Thieves. You're a fucking pirate through and through. There's no getting you away from the ocean. It calls your name. The siren calls your name. You're never going to fucking play a game like this. It ain't good enough. Maybe you're like the people who were like that Hearts game that was like Monster Hunter. The hell is it called? Wild Hearts. Maybe you're one of the people who are so into Monster Hunter, you're like, I will never give that game a chance because it's a fucking ripoff. Maybe you're one of those people, but with Sea of Thieves, let me know in the comments everything you're thinking about when it comes to sand. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this Taste the Cast episode. Did I say 213 earlier? I think it's 213. As always, thank you for watching. And yeah, stay tuned. I will try to get other episodes out here soon. Hopefully there will be things worth reacting to. What a weird month to be trying to make content right now. And maybe I should do like a live stream. Play some spooky games or something. I also need to play Helldivers too. Maybe I should play that with you guys or something. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Stay tuned for whatever the hell I do in the next week or two. And yeah, thanks for watching. And until the next episode, I've been Seth. And have a good one, guys. And take it easy.